Hello, welcome to my channel. I am the work wife. My name is Rachel, and it is hot. Humidity hair. So please excuse the size of my head in this video. But yeah, this is really nothing I can do about it today. So I will try to make this quick because it is hot, even though I've got the AC running. Yeah, I'm trying to do this without it, so bear with me. Yeah, so today's video is going to be about something I thought about yesterday when I think I was thinking about The Power of Now, which was the first book that I read when I was trying to figure out how to shift a mindset that I had had for decades. A victim mindset, to be honest. You know, when I would just walk outside my door and just automatically assume that, you know, I wasn't going to have the best time. You know, like I didn't realize it consciously, but I definitely had programming in place for a long time that was negative. So long story short, I found The Power of Now, amazing book by Eckart Tolle. It's really about being present. So I'll say that, but before I jump in, I am a workplace and mindset coach with nearly 20 years corporate experience, having successfully dealt with some seriously toxic environments, work environments, and toxic people. And if you're dealing with a situation like that in a job, dealing with a toxic boss, coworker, even employee, you know, message me, let me know what you're dealing with, and we can work together and come up with a solution. Because a lot of times people just don't have the luxury to leave if they're dealing with a toxic person day in and day out. So they have to do the best they can, but there are certain tips and tricks that you can definitely implement today to make your life more fulfilling and not so much, you know, feel that you have to suffer. So anyway, email me at theworkwifellc@gmail.com or message me on Instagram at _work_wife, and I have the same username on TikTok. So since I had just mentioned, you know, suffering, you know, that was kind of when you expect to suffer in life, it definitely is a negative mindset for sure, in the broadest sense of the word, where you just don't think things are going to work out. And, you know, whatever you're trying to achieve, whatever you're trying to do, from the smallest thing to your biggest dream, you tend to throw obstacles in your own way. Now, you could say, well, a lot of those circumstances are out of your control. Sometimes they are. But Eckart Tolle's book, The Power of Now, is really exploring deep presence with yourself. Because usually, well, at least his backstory was that he was in like the rock bottom. You know, he was extremely depressed. You know, he couldn't see a way forward. And I think he talked about, well, what happens with depression, or, you know, consistent feelings of worthlessness or helplessness or powerlessness. You're focused on the past. There's a saying, you're either depressed about the past or anxious about the future. And since we live in a world of duality, yes, no, good, bad, fear, love, you know, that dual mind, hemispheres, all of that, north, south, I mean, that's just the way the three-dimensional world works, this or that. And so oftentimes our mind bounces between those two states without us even realizing it. We have thousands of thoughts per day, and either they're about the past or they're worry about the future. And even when we're thinking of something positive about the past or positive about the future, invariably it's kind of like ruining an apology with a but. You know, I didn't mean to hurt you, but, you know, that kind of negates your apology. So when we're talking to ourselves, our inner speech, about something good, we usually ruin it. That was something great, but it was all downhill from there. That was the best time of my life, but haven't seen those days since then. Or I can't wait to go on vacation, but I don't know where I'm going to get the money. We do that a lot. And Eckart Tolle describes it as that inner drama, that inner attraction to the negative as a pain body, an actual entity, an entity that represents all the trauma that you've dealt with that has caused that depression, that has caused that negative mindset, either about others or about yourself. So that entity, it's almost like a living being, which it is in a way, because you're talking to somebody when you're speaking to yourself. Who are you talking to? So the mind can't talk to itself. So it's your awareness, it's your consciousness of being, talking to your mind. And often, since the mind, as I said, is rooted in duality, the mind is all over the place. Well, this and that and this and that, and always hedging. It's your awareness, it's your consciousness, it's your inner being that's going, okay, I'm aware of these thoughts, I'm aware of these beliefs, I'm aware of this inner speech. And then that's where inner dialogue comes from. So when he discovered this entity, he really said the pain body, as he called it, has its own life form. It wants to stay alive within you. Now, some could say that's alternatively, your subconscious has been programmed with certain events that traumatized you. And you became comfortable to a certain degree, especially if you were a child in a traumatic environment. You got used to that. You had to for your own survival. So, sad to say, you became comfortable and used to whatever those traumatic, dramatic conditions were. So anytime something seems stabilized, you actually see it as, oh, I don't like this because it's unfamiliar. The brain, the mind wants to do what's familiar. It doesn't matter whether it's negative or positive, it will do with what's familiar. Like, I think it's like a well-traveled road or grooves, right? If it's if water runs down those grooves over and over again, that's where water will go, the path of least resistance. Same things with the synapses firing in your mind. You've thought a certain way over and over and over again, right? Not only is your reticular activating system looking for those same circumstances to replicate and cause those same feelings, but you also are not very motivated. You're demotivated from changing those patterns. Even though you say to yourself, oh, I've got to be more positive, and maybe you do a couple of affirmations, or even if you spend all day affirming something positive, the opposite of what you've been telling yourself negatively for a long time, it doesn't feel good, does it? So that pain body, that entity, that part of you that's used to being negative is, thriving on that because that's where it feels comfortable. That's the path of least resistance. The brain doesn't want to do any more work than it has to. That's why it's so difficult to change the patterns. A lot of people are like, why can't I just be more positive? Or, I love those people who are just like, be more positive. And I'm like, okay, I didn't think of that. Okay. Now, by the same token, telling yourself over and over again, it's tough for me to be positive, it's tough for me to be positive, just reaffirms to that part of you that it's tough to be positive, and then it's going to be even harder to be positive. Inner speech matters. What you're telling yourself matters. Your subconscious mind is listening to you. Just like I was talking about that consciousness and that inner dialogue. When you're talking to yourself, whether silently or aloud, you're listening to that. You're actually listening to yourself. Even if you're being idle in your speech, you're hearing it. You're taking note of it. So the interesting thing to me about this is that I always say it like that inner being that thrives on your pain or its pain is eating popcorn. So you almost feel good feeling bad. Which I didn't understand at first because I knew I wanted to be more positive. I knew I wanted to thrive in my life. I didn't want to deal with depressive symptoms or anything like that anymore. So I kind of expected, it's going to change overnight because I've decided to be positive. I did not realize the resistance that my own mind would give me in the attempt to flip thoughts. Now, everybody's different. Everybody's different. And it also has to do with how well hardened or how deep those grooves I described are I find that, younger people who don't have years of conditioning or experiences that maybe things didn't go right and preconceived notions based on those experiences. Younger people, in terms of flipping their thoughts around, first of all, they have that inner confidence more than older adults do. Some older adults do. So it's easy for them to go, even if they're upset about something, they can just kind of snap out of it and go, you know what, that sucked, but I'll be fine. It's not going to happen next time, or whatever the case might be. They're able to quickly flip those thoughts and get them out of spiraling, as opposed to someone who's had certain conditioning for years and years and years. So someone like me trying to reverse 40 years of feeling a certain way, it's been a journey. So I'll say that. But it's doable because I've done it. Now, I still have work to do. I don't think you ever get done with the work. That's kind of a side note, is that, first of all, well, there are different schools of thought on this, but when it comes to healing, yes, it's important to heal. Yes, it's important to address those areas within your life that you find over and over again. You feel bad. You feel bad about yourself. You feel bad about whatever the topic is: money, relationships, your job, your success within a job, your chosen career, all those topics. There are certain topics that will trigger you, right? And so if you consistently have a negative experience, that is worth looking at. But I also don't believe that life should be led conditionally. I don't believe that, I'll be able to enjoy my life once I heal this. No, I don't agree with that. Healing, if you want to use that word, is constant. Because we live in a world where there are people and circumstances and events and things that are going to bother us. So even if you say, I declare I'm healed, it's over. I've dealt with everything that's happened up until this point. I have looked within myself. I have, reversed my negative speech. I have I've done shadow work. I have, dug up all I can dig up. I've dug up every subconscious negative thought that I can find, right? I'm done. I'm good. Nothing's ever going to bother me again. That's not true. Or you say, I'm ready for that, that amazing relationship or that amazing job because I've dealt with all that. I'm healed. Well, there's going to be a person or a circumstance or a job or a boss or a relationship that's going to piss you off. And you're going to wait. Why am I reacting? I thought I was healed. Just as the universe continues to expand, so do you. You expand, you contract. You expand, you contract. There is no done healing. There is no done as to your growth. See it as expansion rather than something to fix, like you're patching up something. Oh, it's done, Band-Aid on, fixed it. Never going to see it again. It's going to scab over and I'm just going to, it's going to be done. No, this process, whether you have a couple of years of conditioning or 40 years of conditioning, this process is ongoing. That is the human condition. We are here in a dual world. We are here dealing with other people and circumstances and things that we don't necessarily control. And so all we can control is our responses. And through practice of those responses in a positive way or a neutral way, even if you can't get to positive, try to be neutral, then we get better at it, like anything, like any muscle. You keep working it, and then the exercise that you're doing is easier. So yes, there comes a point, at some point, if you're searching for enlightenment, that's a fantastic goal. If you're searching for your best life, fantastic goal. But the idea of I can't enjoy my life until I'm healed, I'm broken until, I can't have relationships because I know I'm broken, that's also a victim mentality. You're not broken. Everybody's got their unique set of issues that must be addressed. So to me, it's a I don't want to say it's a constant battle. It is an ongoing process that you work at to get better at. So maybe your response time and your spiraling for a couple of days goes down to maybe 2 hours. Better quality of life, right? That's worthy goal. But don't put your life on hold because you perceive that something is broken that you need to fix. No. And you can have a great job, great career, great relationship while continuing to grow. And ideally, you grow with that job, you grow with that boss, you grow with those colleagues, and you grow with that person that you're having a relationship with. They've got their own issues too. So you communicate and you grow together. And if you're triggered by each other, you communicate and grow together. So there is no stopping point. Oh, I'm done healing. No. You continue that process of talking to yourself as positively as possible to affirm yourself. And that process will last you the rest of your life in the effort of being your own best friend and your own best advocate. So, long story short, read The Power of Now, okay, by Eckart Tolle. But I wanted to touch on this topic where I realized sometimes you just feel good feeling bad. And that makes it even harder to break out of those patterns. You just understand the psychology behind that, why that is happening. Because as I said, it's the path of least resistance. So don't beat up on yourself for not being able to flip the script and live your best life, in 24 hours, right? Continue to practice. So with that, I hope this helped. Please leave me a comment below, message me, if you have any questions, give it a thumbs up if you like this content, and please subscribe so that helps my channel grow. And until next time, stay cool, stay centered, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.